So let me tell you what I'm doing with God's Not Dead right now. It's fascinating what happened, okay? All right. So it's really hard to tell exactly like how this is structured or what's happening or whatever, but as far as I can tell, Lionsgate is a normal production company that has produced the likes of Hellboy and Twilight and stuff like that. And it's a movie production company that people who make movies will go to like print the DVDs for them. Like Lionsgate will like make deals with movie theaters and print the DVDs and send them to stores and the whole. They're the distribution arm basically of this whole thing, from my understanding, right? And then there's the actual like movie owner, like the people that made the movie, and those people have a share of everything as well, all that stuff. Okay, so when I do a stream like this, like what I'm doing now, let me explain what I do. When I do a stream, eventually the stream, I'm recording it right now. So what I'm going to do is eventually I'm going to take it and I'm going to edit it down and I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to make it look prettier, and I'm going to add extra videos to it to add new information and all that other good junk, right? And I'll, if it's a particularly long thing, like I want to watch Greg Locke right now, and Greg Locke's video is like an hour and a half long, right? I know for every hour that Greg Locke talks, I'm going to talk for 2 hours. So if I'm watching an hour-long Greg Locke video, I'm going to get 3 hours of footage, right? So basically, the God's Not Dead movies, I'm in a legal battle with these people at the moment, with a number of different people. So let me tell you what happened with it. Lionsgate is the distributor, the people that like printed the DVDs and stuff, and they were the most, God, what's the word? Vehement, the most audacious and ostentatious. They refused to allow me to stream their movie or to talk about their movie no matter what. Refused. Okay? So, unfortunately for them, what I did was perfectly legal. I'm perfectly allowed to, give my opinion through commentary on a YouTube channel, and there's really nothing anybody can do about it. So basically, I got into a battle with Lionsgate, and the thing, I broke down the whole movie, and it was a 5-hour thing, a 5-hour movie, right? I mean, it was in like an hour and a half long, but it was like 5 hours worth of movie that I reviewed. And Lionsgate did claims on each of them. Now, YouTube, they don't have a copyright system. YouTube doesn't really. They follow the legal copyright system more than anything. YouTube isn't like creating their own copyright system. They're just doing their own thing, or they're just following the law. That's it. So what YouTube was doing, here's the process, right? You file a dispute. If somebody claims that you violated their intellectual property, the way that Lionsgate claimed about me, I can file a dispute. And when I file that dispute, it is a legally binding document, a legally valid document that I am signing under penalty of perjury. Because I'm not sure, it's going through YouTube, but it's not really like a thing between me and YouTube and Lionsgate, right? It's a thing between me and Lionsgate and the courts, ultimately, right? So Lionsgate files these copyright disputes with me, claims I violated their copyright, their intellectual property, and I dispute that fact. The next step is for Lionsgate. Again, YouTube's not involved in this. The next step is Lionsgate is going to reject my dispute. If they legally have to claim on a legally binding document under penalty of perjury, I reviewed this video in good faith, and I determined that that the video does not, it is not protected by fair use, and it really does violate our copyright rules, right? That's what Lionsgate said, under penalty of perjury. That's the document that they filed. Now, I had 10 videos. I had a live stream, and I had split it up into 5 different parts for the original, plus I had 2 videos for God's Not Dead 2. I had part 1 and 2 for that. So I had like 10 videos, right? And Lionsgate straight up claimed that they reviewed it in good faith and determined that fair use was not applicable in this situation, that I just violated their intellectual property regardless, one way or another. Well, guess what? YouTube, as it turns out, records when views are received, who sent or who viewed it, what time it was viewed, all that other good junk. And would you believe it? Not one of the 10 videos that Lionsgate or the actual owner of the intellectual property, not just the producer, Lionsgate, not just the people that printed the DVDs, but the people that actually produced the video, that actually filmed it, like the religious nutcases that are God's Not Dead. They made the exact same claim, right? Wouldn't you know it, neither Lionsgate nor CPR Agency or Dorado or whoever the hell else these people are had ever viewed the videos. Not once. All 10 videos had 0 views on them after they legally filed paperwork under penalty of perjury that said, I reviewed these videos in good faith and determined that they did, fair use was not a factor. They are not protected under fair use because I reviewed them in good faith and determined that myself. So they just straight up committed perjury, and I can prove it now. And that is what I said to Lionsgate. I sent them an email to their YouTube account, like to the email address provided to me by YouTube for this specific claim. Like, I was given access to the person. Lionsgate, when I said to them, when I sent them the screenshots of the videos having 0 views and then saying, you committed perjury here and I have proof that you committed perjury. Now, are you going to drop these claims or am I going to see you in court? They dropped the claims like that. Unfortunately, there's CPR Agency acting on behalf of Dorado. So Dorado, from my understanding, I'm a little fuzzy on how it works. I think Dorado is the actual company that owns the intellectual property that is God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. Okay? So Lionsgate was just a producer. They print the DVDs and they send them out to Walmart. But Dorado, and Dorado owns it, like the actual movie. And CPR Agency has been given like permission by Dorado to file these claims on their behalf, on behalf of Dorado, basically, right? Well, wouldn't you know it, CPR Agency and Dorado filed copyright claims, and I disputed on all of the videos, all of them, like 7 videos now. And, of course, CPR Agency rejected dispute, rejected dispute, rejected dispute, rejected dispute, claiming all the while that they by rejecting the dispute, they had to have claimed, they had to have filled out a legal document, or they wouldn't be allowed to reject the dispute. The legal document says, I, in good faith, reviewed this video to determine that it does not fall within fair use. And guess how many views each of those videos has that CPR Agency rejected earlier today? 0. 0 views. These people are so fucked. It is, God, I love it, dude. I love it to death. So I filed an appeal. That's the next step. I file an appeal, and CPR Agency can reject the appeal. Again, YouTube's not involved in any of this in any way. CPR Agency can, I'll file the appeal, and I'll send a message to CPR Agency, which is effectively acting on behalf of God's Not Dead, the producers, the people that own the intellectual property. I sent a message to them when I filed these appeals. And let me just read the message to you guys. This is what I said to CPR Agency. I said, your company rejected the dispute, thus committing perjury on a legal document that you reviewed it in good faith to determine that fair use did not apply. Unfortunately for you, YouTube records when and who watches a video and for how long. That information is available to me. I have evidence that you didn't just not review the video in good faith, as you said you did, under penalty of perjury, but you didn't look at the video at all. You didn't even open it. You have opened yourself up to a whole world of liability that I don't think you want. Release the claim or I'll see you in court. That's what I said to the God's Not Dead people. To the people that actually own the intellectual property that is God's Not Dead. The religious nutcases is who I'm dealing with now. Before, it was just the organization that prints the DVDs and mails them to Walmart and makes deals with like, movie theater companies to put the movie in the movie theaters. I am no longer dealing with them. Those people saw the error of their ways, realized the liability that they had opened themselves up to, and backed the fuck out as quickly as they possibly could. Dropped every claim they filed against me, and did everything short of apologize. They haven't actually said a word to me. They've just been doing all of this stuff, but it's very clear to me that they realize that they fucked up hard. So now let's see what CPR Agency, a.k.a. basically the intellectual property owners of God's Not Dead, let's see what they choose to do. Do they want to go to court? Please take me to court. Please, I'm begging you guys. I am begging you. Please, let's go to court. You guys have no idea how much I would probably get in punitive damages from this company. Just punitive damages is basically just the court punishing a company for being fuck-ups. Like, you guys are pieces of shit. Do you know what you just did? You guys tried to screw somebody over intentionally because you wanted to, and you almost got away with it. That's what punitive damages are meant to fix. So if CPR Agency, if we did end up going to court, which there's no way in hell we're going to court. No way in hell, because CPR Agency knows exactly what's going to happen if we did go to court. If we actually did go to court, CPR Agency the people that own God's Not Dead, they would lose tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in punitive damages. The judge would say, oh boy, you guys screwed up. And the jury would probably award me a ton of money for it. So, anyways, let's see what CPR Agency chooses to do. I mean, the people that own God's Not Dead. Let's see what they choose to do. Now that I've made it clear to them that they have opened themselves up to a whole world of liability. Like, I didn't even think to check this, but I can't even believe that they didn't even look at the video. They claimed to have reviewed it in good faith. They didn't even look at the video, dude. They didn't even look at the thing. At least open the damn video to prevent, to at least have plausible deniability. Like, oh yeah, I'm at least going to open the video so that it looks like I reviewed it in good faith. They didn't even do that. They just straight up pretended to. They said, okay, yeah, we reviewed it in good faith. And they didn't even open it. These people, dude, oh my God. They cannot help themselves save their own lives. You know that these people, I'm talking Lionsgate and CPR Agency, the people that own the intellectual property that is God's Not Dead, you know they're just relying on the fact that I'm poor, I don't have a penny to my name, and I cannot afford to take them to jail, right? You know that they're just relying on that. They're going, you know what? This is the easiest grift on planet Earth. Hey, let's set something up on YouTube. Because we know that these YouTubers have, nothing. They're broke. They're just little guys, you know? They have almost nothing. So we can fuck with them to our heart's content. And there is nothing, We could just steal tens of thousands of dollars from them, and there's nothing they can do about it because they can't take us to court because they're too afraid to. They don't even know an attorney. They don't have the money to get an attorney, even though they don't, they probably don't even realize you can countersue for lawyers' fees and stuff. They probably don't even know. This is the biggest and best grift around. YouTube is for people like God's Not Dead. Unfortunately for the people that own God's Not Dead, my wife is going to law school, and I don't give a fuck. I will do whatever it takes to criticize the people who deserve to be criticized. So anyways, that was my soapbox. I apologize for taking so long to talk about that. Thank you for humoring me. I'm just disgusted by these people, honestly. By the by, my wife has not been providing legal advice or anything like that. I just want to point that out. My wife has just kind of been, pointing me in the right direction by pointing at her books and telling me, like, which books to look at, where to look, and things like that, and stuff like that. So, anyways, the point is, these people are scumbags, complete scumbags, and they are setting out to take advantage of people, and they set out to attempt to take advantage of the wrong guy. That's what this is really about. They tried to take advantage of the wrong guy. So bring it on, CPR agency. Come on, please. I'm begging you, please take me to court. I really want those punitive damages, like desperately. You know what? I could actually take him to court myself. I would just rather they drop all of the stuff and let me move on with my life. Welcome to my world, City Rail Dude, except YouTube is the perpetrator, costing me thousands of dollars, and I spoke to my lawyer, and he said there's nothing I can do legally. Good luck, Owen. Hope you win. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'll definitely win. If this went to court, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. No judge in the United States would see what's happening here and say to themselves, "Oh yeah, Lionsgate and CPR Agency are totally in the right." No human being in their right mind would see that situation and say it. Like, that's absurd. It would just undo literal hundreds of years of case law, and not just case law, but like legislation and stuff that's been set down as precedent since the 1800s. So, yeah, CPR agency, go ahead. We'll go through the process. That's okay. That's fine with me.